When you like Ventura TV Appliance on Facebook, it's nice. But when you love the Frigidaire Gallery appliances we deliver, it's even better. Our website is cool, and it's a good place to start, but you really should touch the merchandise before you buy. Time for that upgrade to an Energy Star qualified French door Frigidaire Gallery refrigerator. Quality appliances for the way you live. Get the best selection, price, and service in town without waiting. Come in to Ventura TV Appliance and touch the merchandise.
Hi, I'm John Malice, and welcome to this live edition of Connect with Me on the showroom floor at Ventura TV on this Monday morning. It's on the air, off the presses, and for the first time we have a guest, a first-timer right here on Connect with Me on MeTV Fresno. You're really going to enjoy him. He has a very familiar face and an even more familiar voice, no question about it. The number here, I think it's 436 MeTV, option 11. Hey, you know the drill by now. Don't wade through the message. Just let your fingers do the walking as fast as you can. Back in a moment.
Tonight I want to discuss the importance of the television medium to the American people.
And welcome back to the program here on a Monday morning. We're live on Comcast Channel 187 and 43.6, no doubt about it. And you know the phone number by now, 436 MeTV, option 11. I just want to say what a great time had on Friday morning here with Rudy Giannone, a World War II veteran. Guy has a million stories. He was a prisoner of war, POW. Very proud. He's going to fly to Washington, D.C., I believe, next month for honor flight to see the World War II Memorial. I want to have Rudy back to talk about that trip. It's so many World War II vets we haven't even spoken to yet that I really want to get to. I want to mention a couple of other things, and that is congratulations to Fresno State, 41-40 over Boise State on Friday night. Probably one of the biggest wins in school history. However, hey, now you got to focus because you got the next game in Hawaii, so don't let down. And also congratulations to one of my favorite teams, the Oakland A's, winning the AL West, second year in a row. And by the way, this week we're working on trying to put together a special which could air on Thursday. We're trying to figure that out. We're going to air something about the San Francisco Giants. We know they've been out of the pennant race since before the All-Star break, but I think you'll enjoy the program. AT&T Park, there's nothing like the atmosphere of a ball game when you're taking in a Giants game in San Francisco, no doubt about it. Let's get right to it. Our topic today and our guest today, oh man, he has been a fixture here in the city of Fresno way before I came along. I came here in 1996 and he had been on the air for years. He spent nearly 30 years coming into your living room, a friendly face, a friendly voice, a friendly guy, a knowledgeable person, a great anchor, and a great reporter. I think you'll recognize him. Watch.
Busiest travel day of the year. It's going to be one of the busiest weekends of the year for theaters. A lot of people go to the movies over Thanksgiving after they have their Thanksgiving meal. They go to the movie. Of course, a lot of people have Friday off, so they'll go to the movies. Alexander opens today, and even though I disagree with the Fresno Bee, Donald Monroe this morning gives Alexander a D+. You have to read his review. It is actually very, very funny. Are you finished with your shopping now, Barbara?
Yeah, but I'm going to the next store.
What's next?
Kohl's store.
Kohl's. Will you sing with me?
Sure.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. The best roller skaters from 24 countries around the world are in Fresno this week for the World Roller Figure Skating Championships. A preview coming up.
We can be friends. That's why he's here in the studio today. Mike Scott. Oh my goodness. He is live and in the flesh, in person here on Connect with Me on MeTV Fresno. He hasn't been on the air, what, in how long?
3 months.
About
This is
three-
the first time I've been on TV in about 3 months.
It's 3 months.
You get me, Joe. You get me. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing great. We got to go to commercial though right now. It was my intro, my monologue.
Okay.
But we're going to come back. Mike Scott is here, a 30-year veteran here in the city of Fresno. Your phone calls 436 MeTV. Option 11. Please, ladies and gentlemen, do not wade through that painful message. Option 11 as fast as you can. Back with the one and only Mike Scott in just a moment.
1 Adam 12.
This is Adam 12. It stars Martin Milner as Officer Pete Malloy, Kent McCord as Officer Jim Reed.
1 Adam 12, roger.
This black and white patrol car has an overhead valve V8 engine. It develops 325 horsepower at 4,800 RPMs. It accelerates from 0 to 60 in 7 seconds. It has a top speed of 120 miles an hour. The automobile has 2 shotgun racks, one attached to the bottom portion of the front seat, one in the vehicle trunk.
You want me to drive?
Now on MeTV Fresno, Xfinity 187.
Hope you had a great weekend. I certainly did. It was a beautiful weekend, and looking forward to today's show very much because this is a guy I've admired for many, many years, watching him and respecting his work, and I want his comments today about the state of broadcasting and everything else. Mike Scott, welcome to the program, my friend. You look like a guy who's so relaxed and happy, and you're enjoying life.
I am enjoying life. I don't have to get up at 2 o'clock in the morning anymore. I don't have to put on makeup anymore. This is the first time I put on a suit in 3 months. Life is good. Life is good.
How long will it last?
I
Forever,
don't know.
right?
I don't know.
Forever. Oh, my goodness.
I have to say congratulations to you. I love what you're doing here.
Oh,
it's
thank
not
you.
easy putting on a daily talk show, I know. And I love what Ventura TV is doing down here. Cute little studio you have here. And I'm just going to give props to Ventura TV for staying in this part of town. Everybody else moved north. They're still in what some people consider a bad part of town. I don't consider it that. I give them a lot of credit for believing in something, and the prices are a lot lower when you buy down here, aren't they?
I know. Gas down the street is cheaper here than it is on the north end. Believe me, it really is. But thank you for the compliment. I really appreciate that. But, I'm not saying that because you're here. I've admired you for many years from afar. And watching your work, I highly respect you. Do you miss it?
I don't miss the getting up at 2 o'clock in the morning. Of course I miss it. I mean, how can you not miss it? I mean, 30 years of going into people's living rooms or bedrooms, wherever they turned you on at 5 o'clock in the morning and at noontime. Of course I miss it. How can you not?
Right.
Don't you?
Yeah,
well, you're still on. You're still on.
I'm still on, but sometimes if a big story happens in Fresno, and I kind of miss being in the middle of it. But we're in the middle of it here in a different way. So it's a different form.
Right. But see, I was never, breaking news was not my thing. I loved telling people stories. And
you're so good at that.
Well, I loved it. That's what people remember
really
and talk about. Yeah.
I like the breaking news part. I like doing investigative pieces. You have a little different angle to yours.
Right.
But you do such a terrific job. You're articulate. You think on your feet. Those live shots. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, there's no teleprompter. There's no script. You got 10 people talking in your ear, and this guy is flawless in his delivery. Amazing.
You want to be my agent?
Anyway, I was going to say something, but I bit my tongue. Okay, we all read Bentley's column in the Fresno Bee about what happened to Faith Sidlow, what happened to this person, what happened to Mike Scott. The official quote, ladies and gentlemen, was, it was a retirement. Okay, Mike, your turn.
Did I retire? I am retired, so that's the bottom line. The specifics, I really can't go into the details. I can comment on what was printed in the Bee, and that's that a company from Texas, Nexstar, has come into Fresno and purchased 2 of the largest stations here, 47 and 24, and they're combining those 2 operations into one. And along the way, they're saying bye-bye to a lot of people. Yeah. And that 47 studios are being shut down. 47 is moving into 24's building here in the next couple of months, and you'll probably see even more people let go. I don't know that for a fact, but that would be my guess. That's what Nexstar has done across the country when they buy 2 TV stations in a market and do the same thing.
Are you surprised at Nexstar and what they're doing?
No, we were discussing before we went on the air the state of television news today. It's tough. When I started in Fresno back in 1983, there were 3 television stations on the air where you could get your news from.
Cable was just getting started.
Just getting started. Now there's 500 channels you can choose from on cable or satellite. It's tough for local TV stations to survive. So companies like Nexstar are looking for ways to still survive in that atmosphere.
Is it good or bad for the viewers? Okay, forget about the business angle of this. I want to talk about the viewers of Fresno because they're the ones watching each and every night. Is it good or bad for them?
It's bad.
To have Nexstar owning 2 stations?
My opinion is bad, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
The reporters for both stations are reporting on both stations. Most people only watch one station and they may not realize this is happening, but the reporters on Channel 24 are now, when they finish their live report, they're putting a 47 microphone on and doing the exact same report on Channel 47 a few minutes later, and vice versa. The 47 reporters are doing the same thing for 24.
And why is that bad for the viewer?
You used to get a variety of different opinions on the news or presentations of the news. Now you're getting the same thing on 2 of the 3 major television stations in town, ABC, CBS, and NBC.
Right.
I don't think that's good for the viewers. You want a variety of opinions.
Right. Got a phone call here. Good morning. You're on with Mike Scott. Your question, please. Hello?
Yes.
Yeah.
I know they're downsizing on 47 and 24, and I was wondering how come they're taking everybody and putting them in different spots.
Putting them in different spots. Well, by the way, Channel 30 also had a wave of layoffs recently, so it's not just 24 and 47.
Yeah, and that's kind of a shock because they're owned by the network ABC, and you'd think, hey, they have a pot full of money here. You know,
it's affecting everybody. I'm not quite sure what his question was.
Yeah, go ahead and repeat your question real quick. Oh, he's off. He's gone. I wasn't quite sure on that either. But
why they're shuffling positions around?
Yeah, why they're shuffling positions around. But I'm not quite sure I totally understood the question.
They're downsizing. 24 and 47 now have one general manager. Do they need 2 when they're all moving into one building? And
do they have one news director or no?
They have one news director.
They do?
Yes.
For both stations?
For both stations. And yeah, that's the whole point of buying 2 stations and combining them into one, is reducing the staff and saving money.
What about the assignment desk? That is, let me explain what the assignment desk is. That is an area of the newsroom where they gather all the stories. You have one person sitting at a desk deciding the storyboard for the day, what we're going to cover. If it's a homicide, if it's a news conference at City Hall, do they have one assignment desk or 2 running both stations?
I can't answer that question, John, because they haven't physically moved. 47 hasn't physically moved into the Channel 24 studios yet, so I don't know what their setup is going to be there.
As you know, viewers at home may not know, that's a key aspect of the newsroom.
Deciding what gets covered every day, absolutely.
It's what makes the newsroom go around.
And that's why when there is several different stations and each one is deciding different things to get covered, you get more of an input of local news. That's why I don't think this is necessarily a good thing.
Good morning. You're on with Mike Scott. And your question, please.
I got a question for Mike Scott. Do you think there might be a backlash? You think we might see a return to like the local origination news instead of the consolidated stations? Do you think we might see like a boutique news reporting service or something come to this? You think there'll be a need for that? Do you think it could happen?
I don't. I really don't. One thing I've discovered since not being on Channel 47 the last 3 months is I'm now getting most of my news the way I think most people do, and that's off the internet. I find myself watching a lot less television news in general. If I'm watching primetime CBS or whatever network, and I see a promo for the 11 o'clock news, such and such happened, tune in tonight at 11. If I'm interested in that, do I wait till 11 to watch the news? No, I just hop on my cell phone, Google it, find out what that story is. I've satisfied my curiosity. I don't have to stay up till 11. I think local news is really doomed because of the internet. Am I wrong?
Well, I think you're right, because that's where I get a lot of my news too.
Most people now do.
If I hear something breaking, I'll go to my cell phone, I'll go to my computer. I mean, it's at our fingertips. You can be walking down the street.
If you want the weather, where do you get it?
My phone.
Your phone. You're not going to wait till 11 o'clock or any of the newscast.
Of course not.
Look and get it instantly.
Yeah, that's right. We're talking with the one and only Mike Scott. Got more questions coming up here for him. And you know, when we come back, I want to find out what station he watches for news right now. See, I'm kind of alerting him as to the next round of questioning. Anyway, we're back here, 436 MeTV, option 11. Call in the program. And remember, turn down the sound on your TV and don't wade through that very painful, I can feel it right here, that painful message. Back in just a moment.
When you're looking for KitchenAid innovation and quality, Who has the answers, the selection, the price? Ventura TV Appliance. With billions in nationwide appliance buying power, more than Home Depot and Best Buy combined, we'll help you save. Our low prices on Energy Star qualified KitchenAid appliances save you energy and money, and pay no interest on select models when paid in full within 12 months. Ventura TV Appliance, serving you since 1951.
We have got a call from Mike Scott coming right out of the break. Good morning. You're on with the one and only Mike
John
Scott.
And Mike, I have a few questions. First question, I think I'll give you the hard one first. Do you keep up with people that have left your company or that did the same thing you did? Do you keep in touch with them? That's the first question. Second question, the fellow that helped you, he was out on the field, he was a black guy, and he was there a few years, not real long. I believe he was with you at that station. He was great. And the last question, where's the dog? Where's the dog? Okay,
Robbie,
I'll listen up.
Well, Robbie is my dog now, but he's probably talking about Sam Dog, the Dalmatian, who was on the air with us for many, many years. He died last year, and yeah, I now have a little Boston Terrier named Robbie, who made a few appearances on the air before I left. But what was his first question?
His first question is, do you keep in touch with the other people who have left the television industry here in Fresno?
Through the internet, through Facebook. I'm friends with a lot of those people, not on a day-to-day basis, but it's nice to see their names pop up, that they're following or commenting on something that you've posted. So, yes, we stay in touch.
What station do you watch for news now? Local station?
Honestly, I really don't. Since I left...
But if you do, if you did tune in, what would you... You watch MeTV.
Honestly, I do not watch very much of television in general.
Yeah,
I'm not avoiding your question. I'm trying to be truthful with you.
No. Anyway, I'm just messing with you.
Did he have a third question, by the way?
I don't think so, but we got a call on the line right now. Good morning. You're on with Mike Scott. Your question.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, how does Channel 30 fall into all this? Channel 47 and Channel 30, weren't they together?
Well, Channel 30 is owned by the network. They're an independent from they're by themselves. They're owned by ABC, but they're not immune from layoffs.
They just had a round of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. All the stations are having a tough time right now. The business has changed.
Yeah. You have any other questions or no?
Channel 59? Does they do something with 10 o'clock news with Channel 30? I mean,
30's newscast is on one of the other stations.
Yeah, they're on 7.1 Kail, K-A-I-L, at 10 o'clock, I believe.
Okay, it's confusing me. I thought that's why we got this regular TV.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for the call. I appreciate it very much. I want to roll a piece of videotape, a Channel 47 special with the one and only Mike Scott. This was a great report. Take a look and a listen.
47 on your side news special, CV64.
Welcome to Lemoore Naval Air Station, about an hour southwest of Fresno. I'm Mike Scott. Several weeks ago, cameraman Dirk Teichman and I had an amazing adventure. We traveled halfway around the world to Hong Kong and Japan to spend several days on board the aircraft carrier Constellation. 2 squadrons from Lemoore Naval Air Station were on board the carrier very near the end of a 6-month mission that took them, among other places, to the Persian Gulf. Coming up in the next 30 minutes, we're going to share some of their stories with you and find out what life is really like for the 5,000 crew members of the Constellation. You ever wondered how they refuel a ship this size when it's out at sea? Well, basically, you pull up to a floating gas station, in this case, the refueling ship Cimarron, and you tell them to fill her up. As you walk around the aircraft carrier, you sometimes find Marines practicing their drills, or sailors trying to stay in shape.
A couple waffles, I guess.
The ship's kitchens are busy around the clock. It's not easy feeding a carrier's huge crew. Here's something to think about the next time you're cooking a meal at home. Here on the ship, they serve 18,000 meals every single day.
Unbelievable. So what year was that?
That was, oh boy, I want to say late 80s, maybe early 90s. I forget the exact year.
Yeah, and of course that was during the era when news actually meant something to local television, when they actually did in-depth stuff like that. But so tell us what aircraft carrier that was.
That was the Constellation, which has now been retired.
Right.
We were there because we were with the Lemoore pilots coming back from the Gulf. We were supposed to have met up with those pilots in the Gulf itself. It didn't work out, so we picked them up as they were headed home.
How long were you there on the ship?
Several days. We got on the ship in Hong Kong. It steamed all along the coast of China.
Okay.
And then we got off in Japan. So it was an amazing adventure.
Yeah, and what did you take away from that trip? Did you walk away with a greater respect for our military?
Well, I come from a military family anyway, so I already had that. But yeah, what those guys have to go through, being separated from their families for 6 months at a time. Can you imagine not going home for 6 months?
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
Mike Scott is our guest today. You're on Connect with Me, and your question, please. Well, okay.
We lost him.
We lost him, but that's okay. So would you say that special ranks up there among the best you've ever done?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Top 5? Top 3?
Probably top 3. I got to fly with the Blue Angels.
I know.
I mean, how many people get to do that? George Takata and I got to go back to New York City and cover the Bulldogs when they were in the NIT. We used to do some amazing things back in the good old days of television.
Another call coming in. Good morning. You're on with Mike Scott. Your question, quickly.
Good morning. Yes, I'd just like to know, a lot of reporters, when they retire or they move on, they just leave Fresno. Does Mr. Scott plan to stay here in Fresno or move somewhere else?
This is my home. I've been here for 30 years. I'm happy here. You know, people say, why do you stay here? Staying here and living here, we have some of the lowest cost of living in California.
No question.
It allows me to travel the world. I mean,
right.
People complain about the Fresno Yosemite Airport and the flights we have. The truth is, you can get anywhere out of Fresno. We have nonstop flights to San Diego, LA, San Francisco, Seattle, Portland, Salt Lake, Denver, Phoenix, Las Vegas, Dallas. You can get anywhere in the world. I went to Paris, one stop from Fresno to Dallas to Paris. Why do you complain about service out of FYI? We have some great flights. They're not always the cheapest, but
right.
I think people
They're
need
reliable.
to rethink things.
Yeah. All right, Mike Scott is our guest. We're running short on time. 436 MeTV, option 11. Back in just a moment.
Now, why don't you tell us the whole story right from the beginning? All right, from the beginning. This is the city, Los Angeles, California. My name's Friday. I carry a badge. Police officers.
You any idea who the other man was?
My partner's Bill Gannon.
Program?
We got just one big question.
Yeah.
When?
Now on MeTV Fresno, Xfinity 187.
Oh, we got the dog today.
Yeah.
What's Sam doing with you today? We haven't seen him.
Because we're going to be walking in the parade. You guys are going to be in the parade,
We'll
right?
be here too, that's right. We're riding. You're walking. Is that right?
Ken Malloy and Susie Frankenberger are going to be the master of ceremonies of the thing. And rain or shine, the parade is going. It's the 75th annual holiday parade coming up. And we have some hard-working folks out here this morning getting one of the floats ready. These are the folks from Vinland Park. And as you can see, it's a very, very patriotic float they're preparing. Do you believe they're up at 5 o'clock in the morning working hard? Yes, they are. Yes, they are. We're going to get you into the holiday spirit this morning with a very special guest who is with us. Yes, the king, Mr. Elvis, is here. Matt King Tut, how are you?
Maybe I'm doing a good Christmas and I want to sing it for you. They all have a blue a Christmas without you.
Cut. That's enough of that, right?
You cut off the king?
I have a voice like that. I mean, you want to hear it? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Good morning. You're on with Mike Scott and your question. Hello.
Yes, this is a question from Mr. Scott.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, I got a question. If you receive information regarding negative information on a public official, do you investigate it, or you evaluate it, or does somebody evaluate it for you and they decide to investigate or not?
Okay, thanks. I appreciate the question.
Honestly, those kind of stories are better for the Bee or for a newspaper that has the time and the effort to put into investigating a story like that. You know, television wants immediacy. That's why you see a lot of car crashes and fires and crimes on the news. They're just easy to cover. You can throw them on the air without much in-depth investigation. Looking into a public official or something like that takes time and effort. Most TV stations these days just don't have the time or the resources to do that.
Yeah, it takes manpower.
Takes
There's
manpower,
no question
yeah.
about it. So what is TV news missing right now, in your opinion?
The in-depth investigation that we were just talking about, I think.
Yeah.
If I tune on the news and see car crashes and fires and a lot of things that don't affect me, I just turn it off. I want to see stories that affect me and stories about the community and people.
Yeah. Okay, another phone call here. Good morning. You're on with Mike Scott. Your question. Go ahead, quickly. Short on
I
time.
just want to know, have you ever thought like doing something like what Hugh Hausner used to do on Channel 18?
Oh, I think Mike would be great at that. You should be the next. You know what? You should be the next Huell Hauser.
You know how many people have told me that?
You should be. You're
I loved
perfect for
Huell
the
Hauser.
job.
I
Oh,
loved what
him
he
too.
did. Yeah, I would love to do that. So maybe somewhere down the road.
You've got to look into that. That's a great gig. Anyway, another call. Look at that, how popular you are. Look at that. How many calls have we had today? Oops.
How many
gone.
hang-ups have we had?
Okay, yeah, how many hang-ups? That's 2 hang-ups. So what's the future of local television news?
I don't
in
think
your
it's
judgment.
good. It's not very good.
Give us the bad news. In
I
your
just
opinion.
think there are so many channels and so many choices now, and people are spending time on the internet and on their cell phones. They're just not watching as
Let me
much
ask
TV
you,
as they used to.
10 years from now, are we going to turn the set on and watch Warren Armstrong or Faye Sidlow, or I mean, not Faye Sidlow.
You won't see Faye
Bud?
Sidlow.
No, Bud Elliott and Steph and all those people. Are we going to see them in 10 years? Do you in your judgment?
My gut says no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think local TV is going to survive much longer.
That doesn't bode
Too
well.
much competition. I know.
Kind of like the Fresno Bee, just kind of going this way, for the last several years.
The paper has shrunk.
The paper. It's the internet, Mike. That's what's doing it.
I know.
That's what's doing it.
That's where we're all getting our news now.
All right, before we go, I want to show one more piece of video. It's the Seussical, done by Mike Scott. Take a look and a listen, quick.
All right, Seussical the Musical. It's on stage again this weekend at Fresno's Veterans Memorial Auditorium. Look at the cast that got up and got in costume for us this morning. Actually, they're not in costume. This is how they really look. No. I'm kidding.
All right, somebody who never gets choked up or loses their voice, Mike Scott. He's out and about today.
Like my new car?
Oh, and look at Santa. He's with him.
Whoa, where's the break?
It's the Cat in the Hat.
Hey, this is so cool. Any kids who come to any performance or the matinee performance of Seussical the Musical on Saturday get a free book. Can you beat that? We're reading The Cat in the Hat this morning. We looked, then we saw him step in on the mat. We looked, we saw him, the cat in the hat, and he said to us, "Why do you sit there like that? I know it is wet and the sun is not sunny, but we can have lots of good fun. That is funny." I just love reading his stuff, don't you?
Yes, I do. I love it very much.
You have another Dr. This is Deo, by the way, one of the monkeys.
I'm reading Other Things You Can Think. Think and wonder. Wonder and think. How much water can 55 elephants drink?
Hey, if you want to have a good time, Seussical the Musical will put a smile on your face. There are 4 more performances, 3 of them Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights at 7:30, and then the Saturday matinee, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Don't forget, bring the kids to that matinee, and you can get a free Dr. Seuss book. Just call me the Cat in the Hat.
We were talking about drama because Ann over here did a bunch of drama back in school, high school. And
I think you're
college.
both full of drama.
Oh, no, she seriously.
Oh, I so miss you on the air. You're so relaxed.
I love
I'm telling
watching
you.
those old clips.
Huell. I'm going to start calling you Huell.
All
Hey,
right.
where were you born and raised?
Seattle, Washington is where I was born, but I was raised all over the world. My dad was in the Air Force.
Okay.
And I think that's where I get my love of travel, as we moved all around.
And where was your first TV job? Just out of curiosity.
Bakersfield.
Okay.
Bakersfield.
And then you moved to Fresno in 83.
1983.
Yeah.
Almost made 30 years on the
And
air.
the rest is history.
Well, the
so
history
to
is still
speak.
being written.
Yeah, I guess it is.
It's not
yeah.
over yet.
No, it's not. All right, Mike Scott, good to have you along. Hey, come back because, the time went by very quickly.
It
As
did.
you know, there's so many things that we didn't talk about.
I'm going to be writing for Fresno Life magazine.
That's right. And I have Fresno Life magazine right here.
There you go.
As a matter of fact, let's take a shot of that. Just real quick, this is the magazine that Mike is going to be writing for
And
once
Faith
a month.
Sidlow.
Faith
Faith
Sidlow
Sidlow also
once
will
a
be
month?
writing for them. I believe it's every other month now.
Okay.
We're trying to go monthly with it, yeah.
Okay. Well, that's great. That's a new opportunity. And you're going to be off on another big trip here shortly. And
Tokyo.
Yeah. Oh, man. I'd like to go to Tokyo
Tokyo,
sometime.
yes.
And not your first time there, by the way.
John, good seeing you. Have me back.
Thank you.
I'd love to come
Thank
back.
you. All right, Mike Scott, formerly of Channel 47 and now has his whole life ahead of him. It's a playground out there. Hey, tomorrow, another edition of Connect with Me on MeTV Fresno. Me on Comcast 187 and 43.6. Back tomorrow. Have a great day.
From the pages of history and the untamed prairies of a young nation comes one of television's and America's most memorable folk heroes.
Daniel Boone was a man, yes, a big man.
Well, you're Daniel Boone.
Yep. Fess Parker stars as the legendary Daniel Boone, with Ed Ames as his trusty sidekick, Mingo.
Pleasure indeed. A Kentuckian named Daniel Boone.
That's me. Watch Daniel Boone, weekday mornings at 9, 8 Central on MeTV.